Hello, and welcome to Crossing Bridges. Ladies and gentlemen, today you are going to be finding out about one of the finest Middle Eastern cuisines in the San Gabriel Valley and surrounding cities. My guest today is a member of the restaurant owner. He's going to expand about the menu, some of the ingredients that go into making the most delicious menu that anywhere can be providing you, and more importantly, a place that gives you the utmost service that you desire. The name of the restaurant is Haidar Baba, the House of Halal Persian Kebab, located at 1511 East Colorado Boulevard, Pasadena, California. At this time, it's my pleasure to welcome one of the owners, Hamed Shir Mohammadi. Hamed, good afternoon and welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Mr. Nader. Thank you very much for having us here and giving us this opportunity to speak about our restaurant. You have been a devoted patron and one of our beloved guests and customers for a very long time.
Thank you so much,
So
Hamed.
without further ado, this is an honor to be here today and to kind of speak about what goes on with our restaurant and how we're a little different and kind of our background.
That's excellent. Thank you so much, Hamed. Before we begin, I'd like to take you back and so the viewing audience get to know a little bit more about the Shir Mohammadi family. I've had the pleasure of knowing all of you, and you really, I want to expand like you were so kind talking about me. Your family is one of the most wonderful families that you come across. Not only they are serving the community in so many ways through the restaurant, first of all, also you have a Foothill Lock and Key that you serve tremendous
Well, thank
people
you.
and also companies, not only in Pasadena, but all surrounding. But the main thing that I've come across that really has excited me is the people behind what you serve. So let us go back to where you were originally came from. I know you were born all the way in Iran, and all of you gradually came to the United States. So take me back to Iran from your
Sure.
childhood and a family a little bit.
Sure. Well, with that being said, Mr. Nader shares a lot of kind words and sometimes too kind. We come from a family that adheres to strict and strong compliance of business. My father was an immigrant who came here, but an astute entrepreneur who initially went into the restaurant industry. Me and my siblings were all born and raised here in America. However, we have close ties to Iran as little children, always being taken back to Iran and experiencing the different culture there. Especially from where my father is from in Iran, it's like a rural village. So you really get the sense of an escape, something very different from what you see here in America. And that's really important when you mentioned taking you back, because that's kind of the philosophy that we have at our restaurant, Haidar Baba. In fact, that's the history of our restaurant, is a certain mountain in the Azerbaijan hills named Haidar Baba, where a famous poet by the name of Shahryar would go and sit to this mountain, and he would, and you know, today history records him as one of the most famous poets that Iran and the Persian culture has seen. And he would sit in front of this mountain, and he would talk to this mountain, almost venting to the mountain, letting the mountain know of all the childhood memories, so that were lost because of the rapid pace of modern lifestyle. He would talk to this mountain about the simplicity that once was, the childhood plays that they did, and the foods and the games. And eventually all that was collected into what is known as Shahryar's poems.
I see.
And Haidar Baba is kind of like a folkloric story that originates from there. And we try to emulate that story so that when you come into our restaurant, and we talked about everything that goes on behind the scenes, and we will talk about everything that goes on behind the scenes with me and my family putting the production together. But the main sense that we like to give our patrons and customers when they come inside of the restaurant is that sense of serenity and simplicity, but yet quality. So
That really, in a couple of minutes, have expanded greatly on what the restaurant business that you're going to talk further is all about. But I think one thing that I have noticed, your family are so close together. Your dad, God bless him, Mr. Ali Shir Muhammadi, sets the tone. He's a very proud individual, loves his family, and as you indicated, it's a family-oriented, which is very imperative because your name is on the line. I have had the pleasure of coming to Hyder Baba many times. I have brought many guests, including dignitaries from the city of Pasadena, and they all have been amazed, not only with the quality of food, the taste, the service, and especially how your dad and mom go around and talk to every pertinent patron that comes into the restaurant. So I'm glad you expanded in that philosophy of poet that has become part of your restaurant. Now, let's talk about some of the food that you're serving. You have a variety of food, and the menu is extensive. Let's talk about a dish that most Americans are familiar with, and that's called kubide. Could you expand about kubide, what it is, what is the ingredients, and how comes to become the most delicious taste in your mouth?
Well, thank you very much. You're too kind. Well, yes, a lot of the dishes, as we see, throughout all cultures and in different walks of life, certain dishes stand out. And with Persian food, kubide is one of those dishes that's like the cornerstone. If you have not had much taste with Persian food, or you don't have much familiarity with Persian food, one of the dishes that do stand out is kubide. Now, kubide is a mixture of ground beef, grated with onions, and actually cooked on a skewer. So the kubide, first and foremost, all the meats that we have, and we'll go through the menu, but all the meats that we have at Hyder Baba have been processed by us specifically and exclusively. We purchase all of our meat. We selectively purchase all of our meat. All of our meat is halal meat, which I don't want to get too detailed with the time that we have here to exhaust what halal is, but very similar to kosher meat in that it has been slaughtered in the name of God. Also, the way it's processed and how they slaughter the meat is a little different, slightly different from normal processed meat. So when we purchase the meat, we purchase it raw, we bring it into the store, and we process it ourselves inside of Hyder Baba. And for the kubide specifically, we mix it with onions. And I can't tell you all the secrets here on camera. But once we actually have the finished processed meat, then my mother actually has a very artistic talent of putting this meat in a specific fashion on the skewer, so much so that it doesn't fall when you put it over the flame. It's open grill at Hyder Baba. All the meats, and we don't deep fry none of the meat, so everything is cooked on top of an open grill. And with the kubide, we put that on top of the open grill, and then the first couple minutes you have to slowly turn it just so it could get glazed, and then it could get cooked on the inside. But like with all of our other dishes, the kubide is served with basmati rice. Now there's a wide variety of different rices that we have as well, and we'll go into. But the kubide is served with basmati rice along with cooked vegetables, one being the tomato, which is really famous with Persian foods. Mm-hmm. It kind of, it's kind of a thing to eat as you're eating the kubide and the rice. And a lot of people like the kubide. In fact, a lot of Persian restaurants, there's a lot of Persian restaurants. Right. So a Persian restaurant commonly is known for the quality, or how good it is, or where it stands compared to all the other Persian restaurants. It's known for its kubide. So if a Persian restaurant has good kubide, then they're kind of authenticated Persian restaurants.
Also with kubide, as you spoke about, not only you put rice on the plate, a tomato, but also at your restaurant you have two choices. You can either have salad or soup to go with it.
Yes. Now with the salad, it's garden salad. Now you always have to give that, again at Hyder Baba, and this could be evidenced through the portions that we serve. We truly believe in family, and that's something that we have predicated from the top down. from my parents down to myself and my siblings, down to the managers that we have, down to all the employees, even to the very last busboy. Something that we predicate and we pound on consistently throughout all our meetings and every time that we want to retrospectively look at ourselves and think how we can make ourselves better is we want to initiate the sense of family. And so we don't want to give the sense when people come there that you're spending money, you're getting shortchanged with small portions and almost everything a la carte. And we also realize with the location that we're in, people like packaged foods. So for instance, our lunch special, just under $8, smaller portion of the dinner. But for instance, with the kubide, not only do you get kubide rice, the basmati rice, the grilled vegetables, but as you were saying, you get a choice between soup or salad. Salad being the garden salad. Now the soup is a barley soup, very healthy soup. Every time I'm sick,
Delicious.
It's kind of my magic, where it's 4 or 5 different veggies actually stewed together. And so the juices of that is extracted inside of this juice with cooked barley. There's this one, the naked drinks, the juices.
Right.
They have this one drink called the Green Machine. The saying on that drink always makes me think of our soup at the restaurant, that it looks nasty, but it tastes great.
You're right, that's true.
So when you look at the barley soup, if you're a person who's not really into greenery or eating vegetables, you look at it, you're like, wow, that's a lot of vegetables, too much vegetables for me. But you take 1 spoon of it and it is delicious. Also, it's very healthy. So for those who are not really salad eaters, we have the option of soup, and those who aren't really soup eaters, we have the option of salad. Again, it goes hand in hand with our philosophy of making sure that when one of our patrons comes in there, it's almost as though we're inviting them to our house. Hospitality is something that's very big and something that's really pounded on within my household. And so we kind of like to think that Haider Baba is an extension of our house, and all of our customers who come in is kind of our invitation and our guests that are invited.
Absolutely, and truly people feel that way. And the one thing you mentioned, the quality and quantity of food. I have been, again, to many Middle Eastern restaurants, and the lunch menu compared to your lunch menu can't even compare. And the price, the same thing. What you would serve in some other restaurants should be double that what you're charging, but your purpose is really retaining customers, give them a quality food, giving them service, at the same time a price that they can afford. And that's why your restaurant is packed on a regular basis. Let's talk about another dish that's one of my favorite, and that's shish kebab, if you'd be so kind.
Yes. Now with the shish kebab, since we do offer a wide variety of different steaks, we have filet mignon, we have the ground beef, we have an assortment of different chicken dishes. The interesting thing about the shish kebab is it's thin, fine cut steak that we cut in perfect pieces that would just melt in your mouth, along with different vegetables also on a skewer. So most of the meats at Haider Baba are put on a skewer and cooked on an open fire grill. In fact, the open fire grill is visible for all our patrons and customers to see. We like to show people how the process of food is while it's being cooked. No secret, shady business. So as people come in there, not only is the scent of the cooked meat traveling all around the restaurant, which makes you order a little bit more, that's a marketing strategy, but also, you'd like to see how your meat is being cooked. And so the shish kebab, the thin, fine cut steak, we cut 1 piece of steak, put 2 pieces of vegetable, bell peppers, red or green, and onions, and then put another piece of steak until you have a very beautiful, colorful, not sure if we're showing slides of pictures of it now.
I think they're supposed to, yes.
But it's a very colorful presentation. In fact, when you're pulling the meat off the skillet, off the skewer, it makes this very nice sizzling sound. But the final finished production, when it's on the plate, along with the basmati rice and the saffron on top of the rice, with the red tomato and the other grilled vegetables that we have on the plate. It's a very nice presentation, very colorful presentation.
As you were talking, Ahmed, I started drooling, thinking of the tasty shish kebab that I've had at your restaurant many times, and it's really true. It just tastes so good, it melts in your mouth, as they say. Now, one of the most important drinks that is so famous in Iran, that's the tea. that most people have with their lunch and dinner, and even, of course, breakfast. Now, can you expand about the tea? If
Certainly.
you'd be so kind, because it's entirely different than any other tea that you can have anywhere.
Certainly. Well, the tea in general in the Persian culture, I think more so even in the Middle Eastern culture, it's very rampant, and you see people drinking 3-4 cups of tea a day. Now, it's not your normal average, in a big styrofoam cup tea. We adhere to this traditional serving of the tea in small style cups, glass cups, with ice cubes. The tea is a extract that we specially make. Again, it's proprietary knowledge and information that I can't get into details as to how the tea is, but the Persian tea that we have, different flavors for cinnamon flavor, rosewater flavor. The teas that we have are served with ice cubes, not ice cubes, sugar cubes, specifically cut and made. And we like to share this tea and pass it to our customers after each one of their meals.
Right.
It's something that's very traditional. We use it quite frequently in our household. And in fact, a lot of our customers and patrons, when they come in, they always are requesting the tea.
Another drink that is very well known with Persian meals is called doogh. Can you expand on doogh, please?
Yes, and I think, in fact, I've just recently found out that doogh is prevalent in a lot of other Middle Eastern cultures as well. It's a yogurt drink. I had some of my friends there who had never had any Persian food, and I gave them some of the doogh. Now, the one thing we always notice with doogh is it's a yogurt soda. There's two different variations. There is the carbonated variation and the non-carbonated variation. Now, one of this might be a little evil, but one of the funny things we like to always watch at Haider Baba, myself and all the employees that work there, is when our customers are not familiar with the carbonated doogh. So you have to shake the carbonated doogh to get the full taste. But you have to let it sit there for a while. And a lot of the times we see people open it and the thing explodes.
Just like,
so it's kind of a funny scene. But doogh itself, a yogurt drink, it's an acquired taste, because if you've never had it at first, you drink a little bit, you ask yourself, wow, what is this? But it's an acquired taste. It's perfect for the summer. It's perfect for the heat. And we have the mint flavor, doogh, carbonated and non-carbonated. And we also have the regular. A lot of people go with the regular. A lot of people go with the mint. It's one of our most popular drinks.
Also, it's very healthy for you. Yogurt is very healthy for you. Doogh is the extension of yogurt, and really tastes great.
Yeah, a lot of people like it for the summer.
You have so many variety of rices that you make.
Yes.
One that we're going to talk about is called cherry rice, that I think is going to be put on the screen. Can you expand on that, please?
Absolutely. Well, again, we have 4 or 5 different types of rice. Cherry rice is the Zeresh polo. We have an albalu polo. We have a Zeresh polo. Now, the albalu polo is sour cherries mixed with our white basmati rice, topped with saffron on the top. But then you'll see sour cherries mixed throughout the rice. So as you're having your meat, whether it be beef or chicken or filet mignon, the sour cherry gives it another sense of deliciousness. Another one of our rices that we have very similar to the albalu polo is the Zeresh polo, which is barberry mixed with the white basmati rice. Both very popular. Now, for those who aren't really necessarily cherry eaters, they don't like sour cherries or barberry. A lot of people, it's an acquired taste. We have another polo called, polo means rice. So we have another, so at the end, and when they're reading our menu, and I'm sure we're going to post it online, our menu is also online. On the rice section, it's polo. So polo is just a translation for rice. There's another rice known as bagali polo. It's kind of a green rice. It's mixed with lima beans and dill, and it's kind of a vegetable style rice. And that's something that's very popular as well. One of the newer dishes that we have recently brought in fact, it's funny that we're doing this now, and again, I appreciate this opportunity, is that we started the restaurant, my father originally came up with the idea. As you had mentioned, we are a family that has always been a part of business together. Different business ventures, we have kind of taken on the challenge together. And in 2003, October of 2003, was when my father first mentioned the idea of wanting to open a business. At the time, there was a sandwich store there, adjacent to another
Right.
buffet, Asian buffet. We go into the sandwich store. We first start off on a small scale, just the meats that we have, the kubides, the shish kebabs, the chicken kebabs. We were going to do that sandwich style. But because of the popular demand, because of people requesting it so much, we were almost forced to expand. And at that time, our neighbor was going out of business. So we figured, why not combine both of them together to what is known today as Hyder Baba. And coming October, we'll be celebrating our 10th year anniversary.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. So throughout this whole entire time, we've had different people come up to us and request different foods and different dishes. Just this past summer, in fact, very recently, about a month ago, we did a temporary close down. Every year, we like to do a facility cleanup. And it's important to do that with a restaurant. But also, this year, we took it one step further, and we said if we're going to expand, if we're going to add extra dishes into our menu, we need to expand our kitchen area size. The point I'm making is, after doing all that, we have brought new dishes, and one of those new dishes is the very popular lubia polo. Again, another rice. It's the same white basmati rice mixed with green beans and pieces of beef inside of the rice. It's one of our very popular rices. We've just started it 2 weeks now. And people love to have that with our yogurts.
Right. Now, I know the viewing audience have heard so much about beef. You also have chicken.
Absolutely.
And please expand briefly about the chicken, and the taste that it has is unbelievable.
Absolutely. In fact, one of our signature dishes, if we were to ever expand and franchise out, a lot of people would say, you know, you should franchise out, simplify the menu so that the names kind of become like household names. Like a lot of the popular franchises you see today, started off in a full-blown restaurant, they simplified their menu, and they expanded out, franchised out, and a lot of the popular franchise restaurants that you hear today started in that direction. One of the signature menus and one of the signature dishes that we have is our chicken kebab. The recipe is again, a secret recipe that even my father has not shared with us. It's something that he holds truly and dearly to himself. And we also offer different types of chicken. There's a lot of people, including myself, including you, Mr. Neda, because you look so good, who are health conscious and they only eat white chicken. So we have, again, the white chicken marinated in our house marination, put on top of a skewer, cooked on open fire, along with dark chicken. Now, another dish that we have brought in the past couple of years is something known as chicken kubide. We expanded on what kubide was with the beef, grated with onions, put on a skewer, and cooked on an open fire grill. Chicken kubide is the same variation, where we process the chicken, we ground the chicken, and we put it on the skewer. So you can come into the store and order one beef kubide and one chicken kubide. You have skewers of both, one orange, one beef color. It actually looks very good on the dish. The one thing that we like to do before we send every dish out is, although there is different processes that we go through to ensure the quality of the food, and that's something that has kept us into business today, is to keep it simple, but make sure the quality is never subpar. But also the presentation. The presentation is very important. Now, there are times where certain dishes inevitably will slip through the cracks. But we want to make sure that, to the best of our ability, every dish that leaves the kitchen onto the customer's table, not only will they take in the scent of the food, but also the presentation looks very beautiful.
Among so many dishes that you have, there is one dish actually which really blends with every dish, and it's called mas and khiyar.
Yes.
That is yogurt and cucumber.
Yes.
Can you briefly expand
Sure.
the ingredients of that, please?
Sure. That goes back to our appetizers. We try to be, we are a Persian restaurant, but we hold a lot of Mediterranean dishes along with a lot of Arabic dishes. So in our appetizers, we have salad Shirazi,
Right.
which is chopped salad, very similar to the tabbouleh. Also, we have hummus. We have tahdig and different other appetizers when we go through the menu or as the menu will be posted. But two of the ones that you mentioned are the must, or yogurt.
Yogurt.
Now, a lot of our customers and a lot of our patrons that come in there like to have the yogurt with their meat dishes. Kind of helps wash it down, gives it a taste, and it kind of helps to, take down the heavy meats. So the two yogurts that we have is one, Mast al-Khiyar, which is yogurt mixed with mint and sliced pieces of cucumber. And another one we have is Mast al-Musir,
Right.
which is the yogurt with chopped shallots.
There's so much more on the menu that's going to take us several hours. So we're
Of
getting
course.
Ready to conclude the show. Ahmed, I want to thank you so much for coming on the show. And as I was talking to you, my mouth was just drooling. I want the people, for example, to know about the phone number. Can you briefly tell the phone number real fast?
Absolutely. The phone number for Haydar Baba Restaurant, located on 1511 East Colorado Boulevard in the city of Pasadena. Phone number being 626-844-7970, 844-7970. And I also want to expand on that and kind of grant to all your
30
viewers,
seconds.
all the viewers who are watching us, if they come into our restaurant mentioning that they saw this commercial or this ad or this show, we will offer them a discount as well.
Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, you have heard much about Haydar Baba. Fresh, good quality, no oil, no grease, but most importantly, the quality of the food is exceptional. They're family oriented, and believe me, you will get the best service anywhere and the best cuisine of Middle Eastern food anywhere. So next time you are looking to what restaurant to go, remember Haydar Baba, the house of halal Persian kebab. And you are going immensely enjoy it because it includes also health quality. Thank you for tuning in and have a wonderful day.
Thank you.